What's going on, everyone? Gilman with the Wellthy Stocks, back with another video today, taking a look at both Tesla, ticker symbol TSLA, and Nio, NIO, where we take a look at how both of these stocks traded, how they're moving, key levels of support and resistance that we are looking at for both of these companies, and based on that, what we think the stock could do. So real quick, if you enjoy videos like this, don't forget to hit that like button down below, subscribe to my channel if you are new, and comment down below what your thoughts on Tesla and Nio are, and I'd love to chat with you guys down there. So let me go ahead and hit record and we will get right into the video. So Tesla saw a little bit of a red day, small pullback, but not even really, because I mean, we're down about $5 on the day, and we're pushing up, 4.5 in the after hours. So pretty flat on the day, slightly red. But let's take a look at, how we traded overall. So before we do that, there's a couple things that I quickly wanted to cover. The first one being, the market seems to be doing all right after inflation fears are kind of put at a back burner, right? Not saying that they're necessarily gone, but they're kind of being brushed off into the distance, like, okay, we'll worry about that a little bit later, after the Fed sort of reassured us that that wasn't happening. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is, the stimulus passing today. So while we knew that stimulus was going to pass, and a lot of that, you can argue was already priced into the market. As I shared with you guys yesterday in the article that we saw, there could be about $160 billion worth of investments, right, of people's money from the stimulus check that people are getting, that people will be investing into the stock market, which I think could bring, a great amount of buying into the markets in the upcoming week. So that will be really, really exciting for us to see. And the third thing that I want to talk about is more Tesla specific. So there was a report today, and recently, GM stock has done really, really well. Ford stock has done pretty well too, which, historically had not been doing well when Tesla, Nio, and all these other stocks were taken off. So what's happening is, people thought, hey, GM's a bigger car company, they're more established, maybe they catch up sooner than we think they do. But in a report that came out today, they mentioned that Tesla is going to have a battery advantage until 2030, while GM and other companies work to sort of play catch up. That's great news for Tesla, because their battery for an electric vehicle is one of the key things. How far it can go, how fast it can charge, where the supercharger network is, and ultimately that could be a great kind of competitive advantage for Tesla as we move forward. So with that being covered, right, I think that's great news for Tesla. Let's take a look at how it traded today, and then we'll take a look at future levels of support and resistance. So remember that it had over $100 day yesterday. So I was hoping for a push into the kind of 720s, but I was also expecting a little bit of a pullback before that happens. So actually we got it in the reverse order than what I had anticipated. So yesterday we closed up here in the 680s, and I said, hey, maybe we establish above 678, we push into 700s, then I'm looking for 717 and 732. But I thought that we would pull back before we do that. We actually, as you can see here, at the beginning of the day pushed up towards 717, but we got rejected at that level pretty perfectly by like 25 cents. And then we sold off, and that's when we saw kind of the profit taking that I was mentioning throughout the course of the day. The good news, though, from this is the fact that, when we pushed down, we bounced off of our 669 level here. We pushed up, we came back down, we bounced off of our 658 level, we bounced to 655, pushed up, we got rejected at the 678. Then we came back, bounced to 658, and then we pushed up, and then we came right back down. So point being, things that I liked was there were a couple levels that we validated as levels of support, levels of resistance, levels that we maybe can, pivot from, such as, rejected right there at 717, bounce here in the 669, bounce here at 658 twice, and things like that. What I didn't like about today, obviously, was a little bit of a sell-off, a little bit of profit taking, which again is totally normal. It's healthy for the stock to do that. I would be more worried if we didn't do that, right? And I'm kind of glad that we had a little bit of profit taking today. Don't like that we're below VWAP, but hey, we're gonna see some of that with the amount that we've rallied yesterday. So as you can see from this chart, right, Tesla had a massive rally based on the S&P inclusion and the reverse split that happened here. or reverse split happened way before, but pushed up all the way to 900s, sold off going as low as the mid 500s, 539, and now we've been pushing up for 3 consecutive days, making higher highs, higher lows, which is absolutely amazing to see. Even though today was a red day, it was still a higher high and a higher low. So today we bounced really nicely off of this 8 EMA, you guys, and we are now also below the 80. Well, actually we're like right below the 89 EMA, so that's something that I don't like, but we are pushing up in the after hours, so technically we're above it. So let's talk about future levels of support and resistance, and we'll see where we go from here. So first couple levels are the 669, 671 level, so basically 670s, which we're above. So next level would be 678, then 694, and then if we can break 700s, then I'm looking at the 717 where we got rejected today, right? So again, 670s, 678s, 694, and then the 717. On the downside, we've got the 658 that we bounced from today. We've got the 8 EMA coming in at 653, and then we got 641 after that. So again, 658, 653, 67, and then 641. Those are the levels of support. Let me get rid of the drawings now for just a second. As you can see here, great bounce off of the 8 EMA today, 8 exponential moving average, which I really like using as an immediate level of support. Unfortunately, after coming right above the 89 EMA yesterday, we are now slightly below it. So I'm hoping that tomorrow we can, get right back above it. Technically, even in the after hours, we're above it, but hoping that we can stay above $669. So my goal for Tesla this week, again, if we see some strong market movements, would be to, again, make a push towards that 700 level, establish that level as a level of support, and then we push up towards the 717 that we got rejected today, depending on how the markets hold up over the next 2 days. So again, pushing towards 700 would kind of be the first thing. And then the second point would be kind of making a push towards where we got rejected today at the 717 level. With NIO, let's take a look at how NIO stock traded. So pretty similar to Tesla as we've seen, right? I mean, if you take a look at the candles, it's hard to really tell them apart. Bottomed out 3 days ago and then pushing up, making higher high, higher low. With NIO, a little different piece of news that came out was that a lot of Chinese people are preferring to buy local electric car brands like NIO rather than Tesla, right? Kind of showing some local pride, if you will, which is maybe not great news for Tesla because they're trying to expand in China, but great news for those of us that hold NIO. So if you hold both, you can take one and give to the other. But that's something that came out, so that's great news for NIO stock. And then one thing that I think, could impact both stocks is the Volkswagen CEO teases a power day. So as you guys know, they're also a big player or starting to be in the EV world. So, what they do could really determine how a lot of these companies are looking in the near future. So let's take a look at how NIO traded today. And then we'll see future levels of support and resistance. Then we'll talk a little bit about the market as well. So let's get our drawings back on here. So again, small sell-off for NIO, pretty similar story to Tesla. Tried to push up at the beginning of the day. We briefly broke above our 44s level, pushing kind of the 55, and then we sold off for the rest of the day. Bouncing here around the 42.38, as you could see, coming back, couldn't break it, coming back a couple times, kind of broke it, but came right back down. And then finding the 40.70s as a level of support, dropping to 40.30s before we kind of settled in between and closed kind of flat. So, again, similar to Tesla, established this as a resistance level that we might have some trouble breaking through, established this 40.72 as a good level of support, 40.38. So that's good for us moving forward. So with NIO, again, RSI is at 38, so looking better than we did last week. More on the oversold than overbought levels, but not quite oversold, which is good for us. And pushing up, right? So again, red day, similar to Tesla, but making higher highs, higher lows. So let's take a look at what the future for NIO could look like. So again, first level of support comes here at $40.70, which is kind of where we bounced today. We bounced at 40.30. If we break below 40.70 and break below the 40 level, then 38.53 is next. And then, the 35.80s. Hopefully we don't break below 40 and the market continues strong, but you know, I'm just pointing that out in case we do. And then on the push up, we've got 42.38. That's the first level. And then we've got the 44.58 and then 46.23. Remember that 45 was kind of the level that we pushed at today. Couldn't quite hold it though. So hoping that we can, you know, definitely make a push towards that again. So again, 42.38, then 44.58, then 46.23. My goal for NIO, let me bring out the 89 EMA. My goal for NIO, my first goal for NIO is the 46.38 level, which is the 89 exponential moving average, which is kind of right there. Let me get rid of the drawings there for a sec. This line right here is my goal for NIO. I don't know if we do that in the next 2 days or early next week, but that's my first goal for NIO. I definitely think that we could do it once we clear kind of some of the levels that I just talked about, make a push towards 46.38, establish that as a good level of support, and then start to push up. Definitely think NIO has a lot of potential. I've talked about kind of the exciting things that they're doing, their new sedan, their battery swap stations, all that, improving sales. So definitely think that, you know, we start to push up from here, assuming the markets are strong. Now, what am I talking about with the markets? So I've kind of shared a couple things with you guys yesterday. Let me, you know, share it again. So every time, a couple things, right? There's always the chance that we pull back to the 8 EMA, which is at 385, which is about $4 down. But more than that, what I'm looking at here, you guys, is these drawings that I drew for you guys yesterday, and that is at the 390 and the 392 level. And the reason I do that is because we've really struggled, as you can see here, a couple times there, to break above the 390, which we also saw today, by the way. We broke above it, but we couldn't really sustain it. We always, you know, came right back down below the 390 level. And once we've broken 390, we struggle to get to 392. So that's another thing that I'm looking at, is if we get past 390, which we are in the after hours, if we can get to 392. Once we can get to 392, then I think that, you know, markets are looking really, really good. Not to say they weren't for, you know, yesterday and today, but that kind of gives me the last confirmation that I need to, you know, be kind of confident that the markets are starting to move up. Then we'd be, you know, all-time highing next, hopefully. So watching this 390 level, watching the 392 level in the markets, if we can clear 392s, I'm really excited to see what the market gives us next, but kind of keeping a close eye on the S&P 500 until then. So that's what I'm looking at, you guys, hoping for both Tesla and NIO to push up. Again, they did have a really, really nice day yesterday with a little bit of a sell-off today. So I think over the next couple of days, we'll see if they continue selling off a little bit more or if we start to push up. I'm hoping that we start to push up. I've kind of set some targets that I shared with you guys a little bit earlier. So hopefully we see those hit tomorrow or Friday. If not, then hopefully early next week, we are above the 89 EMA. So that's all I had for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to drop a huge thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to my channel if you are new. Comment down below what your thoughts on Tesla and NIO are, and I'd love to chat with you guys down there. Let's remember to be a bit better every single day. And until next time.